Hey guys, and welcome to a quite ridiculous and ludicrous battle featuring the mighty Phoenix King, as well as Maldito Malvi, who I've got a strange feeling might be Malverde. I could be completely wrong, but anyway, it is going to be High Elves versus the Children of the Old Ones, the beautiful Lizardmen forces. Absolute no bias here, and this is going to be my first replay on the Cavalry beta, and it's going to be pretty good fun. I mean, we've got a load of Dragon Princes, 3 units of heavy shock cavalry here, who should benefit quite a bit in the new beta, simply due to the fact they're going to be hopefully able to do a lot more shock damage on the charge and not take too much in retaliation. We do have double spearmen in the back, and they're going to be guarding a couple of Eagle Claw bolt throwers. Now this can be a little bit risky, of course, not having too much range to support your Eagle Claw bolt throwers up against units like Pterodon Riders can be a little bit rough, but for the force of the High Elves to counteract that, we do actually have a bit of an air core coming in with Alariel the Radiant, with Tempest, Shield of Thorns, Fast Protection, and Earthblood. So a nice little counter there to those sneaky skinkies. With an Arcane Phoenix up in the skies alongside her, actually quite a powerful utility tool for the High Elves. They can really get in there and dish out the pain, particularly coming down with their lovely little Vortex spell as well. Front line's going to be relatively cheap and cheerful. We've just got a couple of units of Rangers dotted along the front line. It's really all about the cavalry and those single entities today. And speaking of single entities, boy oh boy do we have a treat for you guys today with this Lizardmen build. So we have a couple of skink cohorts in the front line. No one really cares about them, sorry little skinks, because this central pocket and guard in the rear is all what we're here for. We do have double Saurus Scar Veteran. Now, Saurus Scar Veterans are heroes I don't use terribly often, but they're actually really powerful. I need to incorporate them a little bit more. Mobile, relatively quick on these Cold One mounts, and that lovely anti-large to help protect some of the more slumberous and clumsy beasts who don't have the greatest melee defense. We do have one unit of Cold One Riders in the back, supported by a Bastillodon with a Revivification Crystal. My god, that's a mouthful every single time I say it. We have our boy, the Shredder of Lustria. Let's give him a little neck scratch just to let him know he is the bestest of all boys. Now, because this is on the CAV beta, and the new cavalry patch that is coming to Total War Warhammer multiplayer, then like these kind of units like the Shredder of Lustria are going to love it, because everyone's bringing mass cavalry at the moment just to try out the changes. Therefore, anti-cavalry tools are also rather popular. We do have Lord Mazda Mundi, the puppet of Lustria, on top of the true ruler, the mighty Zlak. Again, let's give him a little neck scratch. Coming in with Apotheosis, Curse of Midnight Wind, Net of Amantok, Ruination, Banishment, all that good standard stuff you like to see from your boy Maz. So without further ado, let's hop in here and check out this battle. I'm a big fan of this matchup in general. Looks like a really early Shield of the Old Ones goes down. I suppose that is to protect from the bolt throwers, but honestly they're going to be going after the Shredder, and a little bit early usage there, but it should be able to hopefully come back and be used in the later stages of the battle. Rangers do push forward, and in come the Dragon Princes. Lances load into the little skinks, and they send them absolutely flying. However, the Cold One Spear Riders, the basic Cold One Riders, actually no spears here, are going to countercharge, which isn't going to end up going too fantastic for them, because the Dragon Princes have relatively decent armor, and without that anti-large, they could indeed struggle. The rest of the forces are starting to push up. You can see all along the battle line, skinks again decimated, but that is the life of a skink, I'm afraid. And the bolt throwers are really starting to pierce the thick hide of the Shredder of Lustria. I like this spread out formation from the High Elf forces. We do get a cheeky little Net of Amantok go down on the Dragon Princes, but before Mazda Mundi can take advantage of the situation, he actually gets charged by the Arcane Phoenix, pinning him in place and stopping him making good on slaughtering the princes themselves. And in comes the Shredder. Red Crystal has gone down upon him to try to just heal him up a little bit, and finally, is he going to get his snag? The Dragon Princes start to flee, and it looks like he does actually take down one model. I think that was from the javelins off the back of these guys, though, rather than the Shredder itself, so it hasn't been able to get its fangs too wet just yet. The Cold One Spear Riders are going to be pushing into the back. It looks like the Saurus Scar Veterans did separate here and go after different bolt throwers. This is a rather risky maneuver, because now they're really isolated and alone. If you go for a super elite dino build like this, you have to stay together, and you can see the Scar Veterans are kind of paying for it at the moment. Cold One Riders getting for a bit of support. The Scar Veteran not having a good day, however, whatsoever. On the left-hand side, the other Scar Veteran tries to shut down the bolt thrower crew. It will take him a little bit of time. He's not the greatest chaff clearer in the world. And we have a big fat Ruination come down on top of the Dragon Princes. Unfortunate cast there. Both of the Ruinations seem to go in the wrong direction, not really catching the Princes whatsoever. Cold One Riders are terrified and forced back. Alariel is a little isolated and alone here. If she can be pinned down by the Saurus Scar Veteran, buying time for the Shredder to catch her, she could be in for a bit of a beating right now. She does indeed actually get caught here by a Net of Amantalk. It's such a useful utility spell, nets all round. And the Shredder is really going to town right now on Ilaria, who does manage to get up into the skies. However, despite that net being down, it's not really a bug. I think it's been in the game for absolutely ages, so I assume it's deliberate where these netted Flying Lords can actually escape once more. A little bit of a wasted banishment, but that was more unfortunate rather than due to placement, because the Spearman actually terrified and ran away from the banishment itself. The Dino Core is going to pushing up on top of the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. I would say at the moment the game definitely favours the High Elves. They've had the better of almost all the engagements in the melee fight, as well as taking out this Saurus Scarvitron on the far side. However, the balance power is relatively even, and that is because this is still such a powerful core of heroes here. Lord Mastermundi, Bastiladon, Shredder, and Saurus Scarvitron. Avengers assemble. Shredder is still taking continuous shots here from that second Bolt Thrower. They have destroyed one and now need to move on to the second one. It does look like it was indeed fully shattered, which is really good news for the Lizardmen as they start to stream forward. Cold Spear Riders have Cold-Blooded on them just to try to keep them in the engagement as far as possible, and a few of them actually get caught in the crossfire coming in from the Bolt Thrower itself. And let's actually switch targets to them to try and drag them down. Interesting choice. Down to just 10 models here. I would definitely still focus the Shredder, but it is being held up by the Rev Crystal once more. I don't think I've ever seen a Shredder of Lustria hit its healing cap, so I'm kind of excited to see if we can get to that today. High Elves are dominating the battlefield. If they have a nice overarching view, they should certainly get the opportunity here to pick and choose their fights as much as possible. Alario does come in for a bit of a snipe attempt on the Saurus Scarvitron. She needs to be very, very careful. If she gets hit by a Net of Amantalk at the wrong time, where she's pinned between dinos and can't get into the sky, this could be all over. The Shredder does go for a bit of a wander, unfortunately too far away from the homies. We are going to see another Ruination come down trying to destroy the Dragon Princes, and it connects decent connection there, makes some pretty decent connection, and it looks like though it did buy time for Ilaria once again to get back up into the sky, though she's looking a little bit more worse for wear than she had been doing previously. Dino Core definitely wants to waddle over to this Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower again and shatter it for a good, because it's constantly going to be a menace in the night. Range is a really good tool for taking down builds such as this. The Arcane Phoenix does what it does best, comes down in a glorious torrent of fire there. Not going to do too much damage, it's definitely anti-infantry, but hey, get the damage in where you can. Bolt Throwers throw one last bolt into the mix onto the Shredder of Lustria, who's getting held up by Apotheosis and a Rev Crystal now, and the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower is certainly going down. Saurus Scarvitron is trying his best to protect the Bastiladon. He unfortunately has been not well loved today. Cold-Blooded goes down on him, but all the healing has been saved for the goodest of boys instead. The Arcane Phoenix takes quite a big hit there. We do have a big old Curse of the Midnight Wind going down, means that the Shredder's going to hit even harder with that negative armor to all these troops, and it looks like the Dragon Princes do ride into the Curse as well. We are going to see their own little bit of protection though. Shield of Thorns goes down, increasing that physical resistance and base weapon damage. It's actually quite a powerful spell. I wish we saw a little bit more often. And the carnage is well and truly underway as the Shredder just munches and bunches, and I don't even know if bunches is a word, but we're going to call it a word because look at him go. Slaughtering the Dragon Princes, piercing that thick dragon-themed armor. And they're doing some good work here. We are going to get a Star of Avalon come down, however, buffing up all these nearby troops. The Rev Crystal is a weak target, however. The High Elves definitely should focus this down. It's going to be healing up the Shredder at all times, and it's far easier to kill than the Majestic Beastie itself. Lord Mastermundi up to 30 kills. I wish he had saved just one of those banishments or ruinations, because imagine it down here on all this infantry. It would be absolutely devastating. The Bolt Thrower is actually back online now. Looks like they only have enough crew to fire one artillery piece, but hey, that's a big nasty bolt going right up the rear end there of the Shredder of Lustria. The Rangers are being terrified at the moment. That's a big problem. The Shredder's actually got a really good ability called Dread Aversion right now. -8 leadership is pretty huge in the later stages of the game, particularly combined with all this fear and terror that they do indeed bring to the battlefield. And you can see many Rangers are just fleeing for their lives right now. Even these Dragon Princes, relatively full health, about 2/3 of their HP, are so close to breaking right now. And it looks like the Arcane Phoenix is once again going to bring down its little whirl and twirl of fire, but not to too much effectiveness, unfortunately. Bolt Thrower once again is terrified, down to just, oh no, it's unshattered. Oh no, one crew member is going to escape to tell the tale to his friends and family that he single-handedly fended off a Shredder of Lustria. I'm sure that's the tale he will tell. Dragon Prince is coming for a nice fat surround now. Cycle charging could be really key. The Shredder of Lustria is up to 125 kills at the moment. Really not bad considering how elite this High Elf force has been. Good use of the Shield of Thorns once again, giving that physical resistance and increasing that base weapon damage, which is hopefully going to be enough to save their souls from these mighty beasts. But Lord Mazdamundi is starting to get into the thick of it as well. Alario is going to be cycle charging in. You can see one charges in, then the Flamespire Phoenix charges in, then they charge out and back in again. Or at least they hope they charge out, because Alario is getting pinned in a little bit. Though she's doing some good damage to the Bastildon, she is taking a bucket ton of damage in retaliation. Shield of the Old Ones goes down, increasing the leadership and damage resistance of all of these units right now. Alario once again escapes. She's been a little bit risky today. It's paid off so far. We'll have to see if it pays off in the end. Dragon Princes continue to batter at the gates. A Rev Crystal as well as Apotheosis. 2 heals go down. That's over 1,000 HP coming back there to the Shredder, and it's actually getting relatively close to its healing cap. That's really cool to see. I really hope we actually hit the healing cap, because it's been pinning an absolute shift so far. Arcane Phoenix is now surrounded by the triple Dino threat, and the Dragon Princes lower their lances and once again come into the fat surround. I really do like the fact the High Elf player is rotating and constantly moving out and into combat. Not only just to activate the charge bonus of the Princes once more, but also try to save units and distract the Dinos. They can only hit so many targets in one go. Arcane Phoenix is going to be able to flee and get up into the sky once more. Star of Avalon goes down as the Phoenix does swoop in. It looks like itself may actually get to its healing cap at the moment. Dragon Princes as well have been healed up quite a bit to 104 kills, and 24 kills is impressive stuff, but none of them match the levels of the Shred up to 178 kills. The Beast is getting very low and wounded right now. He's not a fan of being surrounded, and the Cold-Blooded has been popped just about keeping him in the action for now, but he is teetering on the brink, and Alario comes in to try to finish him off. But the Shredder is a one-beast wrecking ball. It snaps its jaws at Alario and almost kills her with one hit. She is fleeing for her life right now, and down she goes. But it cost the Shredder its life. It is being forced off here, and there is no way whatsoever it is going to be allowed to come back, particularly with all this mobility on the battlefield. Now, almost all of the High Elf units are currently running for their life. If the Shredder had survived that, it would be game over for sure, because the entire Health army is currently running off the field. There is no units left fighting, apart from this one unit of Rangers in the distance who are slowly coming back. Oh my god, that's such a sad sight. It's like watching a puppy on the ground. Oh, that's horrible. Look at my beautiful boy. Well, he's trying his little hardest right now, and he did a good job so far, but if he was alive and was able to get like a single Apotheosis on him, I think it'd be game over. That Dreaded Aversion combined with the loss of Alarielle just means this entire army would constantly break and rout before the menace of the Shredder, but considering it's gone down, and it looks like its bones have disintegrated into dust to join the sand here, I think there is a chance, a very small chance, for the High Elves to come back into this with some effective Dragon Prince cycle charging and Arcane Phoenix, snipe out the Bastildon, and then surround Lord Mazdamundi. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a slow game. Obviously, the High Elf player is just waiting to get these Rangers back and over here before committing to a fight, although the Dragon Princes do actually come in for a charge a little bit prematurely here. The Bastildon nearly broke, but luckily, due to a Cold-Blooded plus a Shield of Old Ones, increasing its leadership by a whopping 20, it is just about managing to hold firm. Lord Mazdamundi counter-charging into the Dragon Princes at every opportunity, and the Rev Crystal is so close to dying. It's used quite a lot of its casts, though, of its ability. I wonder if there's one or two more left in the bank. It looks like it's popped one, actually, on Lord Mazdamundi. Going to be looking to buff him up. Arcane Phoenix is down to just 1,000 HP, but however, getting those attacks in the rear is going to be a really good news. Lord Mazdamundi is surrounded right now, and Zlak being poked in the bum and the eyes at the same time isn't going to be enjoying this whatsoever. And if we have a little look at his leadership right now, you can see all the negatives that have come in. Attacked in the rear, damage sustained, faster and stronger enemies nearby. I don't know who those stronger enemies are. Zlak, you were a beast. But, yeah, he's trying his little hardest at the moment, up to 58 kills. Again, saving one of those banishment spells to the late stages of the game, I think would have been far better use, because all these Dragon Princes would be forced off right now. The Bastildon with Rev Crystal does go down, and the Majestic Beast will be chased off for sure by these Dragon Princes. But it's certainly not over. The Bounce Powers like and High Elves quite a bit. Lord Mazdamundi is truly a formidable toad. And he's only got 59 kills so far, but the majority of them have been on Dragon Princes, so I'm sure his damage value overall will be really impressive. Getting another big hit there onto the Arcane Phoenix, unfortunately not able to connect fully, although that one did, down to 700. My god, that Phoenix took an absolute pound in there, and once again we're going to get some Apotheosis on Lord Mazdamundi as he makes his valiant last stand. The Dragon Princes are looking okay leadership-wise, but not honestly fantastic. This unit's also fallen back quite a bit, and when they come in, obviously the charge will be quite impactful, but their leadership is looking real rocky right now, and I don't expect the Rangers to do any damage to Lord Mazdamundi without the Dragon Prince support. Another fallen puppy in the distance. It's such a sad sight seeing the big old Lizardmen dinos fall. Arcane Phoenix does come in for a lovely charge once more. Every time this thing comes in, Lord Mazdamundi needs to try to kill it, and just so I say that, he actually does indeed do it. Maybe it was about to get its heal there, but it was a healing cap was at max, so it doesn't actually go off. That's what I think what that little spurt of flame was. Without the Phoenix on the field, you can see the Rangers are terrified and falling back. Likewise, other Dragon Princes, and we may get a big fat terror route going down. Is it going to be a chain route? Dragon Princes shatter. Rangers fall back. More Dragon Princes are starting to waver, giving up in the Elvish Court as Zlak gnaws at more and more troops. He is well and truly bloodied now, but up to 85 kills. Can we get him to a mighty 100? Dragon Princes are legging it. They are terrified. 8 medals left on those bad boys. An impressive 116 kills, though. They've seen a lot of war, and you can charge your horse into combat only so many times before it does, give up the fight and not really want to go back in once more. 17 Dragon Princes are unfortunately terrified, and that could be GG's. Rangers are coming in. There's still 60 of them, which isn't shabby, but it is Lord Mazdamundi. Dragon Princes fall back, and they may actually go off the board edge. Balance power swings heavily this time into the Lizardmen favour, and the Dragon Princes do unfortunately break off the battlefield, but Lord Mazdamundi is really low, and in come the Dragon Princes. They do get countercharged quite heavily. Does he have a cold-blooded ready to be popped? Because he only has 950 HP right now. Dragon Prince is doing some really lovely lancing damage on the charge, but unfortunately for them, they actually start to waver and nearly break. They just about cling on to power. The cold-blooded does go down on Lord Mazdamundi. Only 740 HP remains. Rangers are so close to breaking right now. Dragon Prince's one last charge into the deep. Shield of the Old Ones is brought in to counteract that charge, the negative effects he's going to be getting for them. Dragon Princes are clinging on right now, and Lord Mazdamundi might go down. The balance power once again has swung in favour of the High Elves. Rangers are terrified and forced off the battlefield, but Mazdamundi is down to just 269 HP, and he breaks just as the Dragon Princes break, leaving a lone unit of Rangers on the battlefield to pick at the carcasses of the Dino folk. Wow, that game was absolutely insane. Well played to the Phoenix King, well played to Maldito Malve as well. You guys represented XMT and EC rather proud there. Two clans actually we've had quite a bit on the channel recently. Awesome lads as well, both these guys. That was insane. We're going to quickly check. Oh my god, 6,559 damage value on the Shredder of Lustria there. Nearly 200 kills. Over 26k damage dealt. Yeah, that was absolutely insane. I'm going to go through the damage value and damage dealt of all of these units. I think the Dragon Princes would have shined as well as Mazdamundi. But before we get to that moment, if you guys did indeed enjoy this video, make sure to leave a big fat juicy thumbs up. Comment down below what you thought, or just yell quack at me. I really do enjoy reading all those comments. And make sure to subscribe. We've got a load of glorious content coming in as we do, continue this lovely rollout to Total War Warhammer 3. Links down below to my Patreon if you want to support my channel, but also to my Discord, where you can submit replays, get involved in tournaments and events that I host, and all that glorious stuff. It's also where you can submit replays to the channel. So let's go back to the damage dealt and damage value. Let's go over the Dino Boys first, because I think they're going to have some rather impressive stuff. Lord Mazdamundi, 110 kills, 5,217 damage value is insane, considering, he was battering Dragon Princes for a long time and still got 110 kills, over 18k damage dealt. He did really well to date. Unfortunately for the Sora Scar veterans, one performed pretty good, 1,000 damage value. The other one just enabled itself to get isolated, kind of peeling off to try to deal with one of the bolt throws, which is a good idea, but in hindsight kind of left him on his own. And I think these three units and these three really had to stick as tightly together as possible. Of course, the Skink Cohorts were kind of just here to die and make up the numbers. Common Rhinos did okay, 400 damage value isn't amazing. The Bastildon did really good now. It was triple gold chevron, which I didn't actually notice at the start of the battle. But, despite that, it's not the most expensive tool you can bring to the battlefield for the Lizardmen, and it still managed to get 1,448 damage value, and probably almost all of its Rev Crystal ability popped off, because it healed up the Shredder almost to its healing cap, which once again, 26k damage dealt, 6,500 damage value, and 195 kills. Absolute bonkers. For the forces of the Phoenix King, well done. Good, real good kind of discipline play in the end there to cycle charge his way to freedom. Just under 300 value on Alarielle. My god, I mean, she did some good pecking with her eagle, but it really did come down to her healing, which was really useful. Rangers across the board did okay. 470 damage, 662, 400. Spearman basically did nothing, unfortunately. The Dragon Princess performed really well. 2,300 damage value, 2,100, and 4,000 damage value is insane, considering these guys aren't like anti-large specialists. That's the Regiment of Renown version. So they perform really, really good. I'm interested to see, now that I am on the beta, how well CAV really is performing, and if it's a bit too much, or if it's not enough, or, you know see how it goes, basically. But, yeah, that is absolutely insane. I love it. Arcane Phoenix got 2,844 damage value. Good use as well. Unfortunately, not the mass amount of swords it wanted to deal with, because it can use its Flamestorm to real good effect up against them. Both the Bolt Throwers, I guarantee, paid for themselves. That's 720 damage value is not insane. 1,200 on the other. Shutting them down was an absolute priority, and the Lizardmen player did that rather well. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was pretty damn insane. Until next time, peace, peace, and as always, stay awesome.